I'm gonna do a bit of an engine dress up here. No, I'm not.
Mr. Dress Up?
Nope.
Do you remember Mr. Dress Up?
We passed the halfway point in spending. Now you guys can see why I'm getting cheap on a lot of stuff. We've had some great friends. Chip Foose has given us some stuff.
Seats.
That one gentleman gave us some suspension in trade for a hoodie. We've got a steering column coming in trade for a hoodie.
All the free parts that we got from Ottawa Holic.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We are super excited about today's episode. You're not going to want to miss this because I have a Sharpie. We're going to do some calculating.
We're going to figure out how much money we're in and how much. I guess we're not going to figure out how much effort's been put in, but I can tell you right now that the struggle is real. I am struggling to build a car with zero finances available. So the amount of effort that we've been putting in to find inexpensive parts, free parts, and super cool, actually, subscribers that have sent us free parts has helped a whole bunch to build this car on budget. And that's what friends do, right? Yeah. But I just want to go to the store and buy a bunch of new stuff so I can keep working. So instead of working, a lot of it's been picking up free cars, going places to get free parts and inexpensive parts, because we are paying for parts. We're not trying to do that completely for free. But here's one of our problems. Let me explain this to you. Here we've got JF trying to figure out how to save $1 by having one pedal assembly, going to the swap meet and finding a 70 to 81 Camaro pedal assembly, which I thought would work. Some free supposed Camaro assemblies that don't even actually match up with any of them. Buying a car for 50 bucks, hauling it home, a 69 Nova, which should be the same in my head because the subframe's the same and the rear end's the same, the leaf springs are the same, but it turns out the length is different. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So this is all my efforts in trying to save $1 when really what I need is a $300 pedal assembly. Why does that matter? Because we're trying to do it not the hard way, but the way that anybody could afford. So my buddy Clint saved me. We did a little horse trading, and he actually had a leftover pedal assembly from his drag car. So now I owe my buddy $150. Which is still a wicked deal, but look at that, we got a clutch. Takes us to my steering column dilemma. I've been saving steering columns forever because I'm a bit of a hoarder that way. Nothing I have fits. I can hardly believe it. But back to that $50 Nova that we got was gonna have a steering column that fits, right? Same era car, GM. Seriously, how many different steering columns can they make? Well, it turns out, if you look here, hang on a minute. The steering column is 1.5 inches too long. That's exactly like the pedal assembly that's too long. So I'm not winning. I've got a ignition with key. We may have found a steering column in the lower mainland, and that would be, again, apropos to this. It's a steering column with a column shift. It, you know, if you're building a super nice Camaro, you don't really want column shift. If you're building a budget Camaro, you don't really care. So we'll probably knock the pin off, knock the column shift off for the 4-speed, and call that super awesome. Yeah, that's my story. What we're trying to do today is figure out how much money we've got into this car and install probably a half a dozen parts and make some progress now that we're cooking. So
I'm pretty sure I'm missing a lot of
cost.
items. Yeah.
Yes. So that's why we're going to do it together.
Yeah.
Well, out this one comes. I'm going to add it to the pile of stuff that I hoard for the rest of my life. move some of these columns aside.
I almost want to do a book on the psychological mind of a hoarder.
Well, a car parts hoarder is pretty simple. I'll tell you why we become car parts hoarders. Because every once in a while, we have something in stock that can actually help build a car that we're working on. Example A, this exhaust manifold was in my stock, and we needed it. I'll show you why. I've had 3 sets of exhaust manifolds in this car, including the ones we bought for $5 that I thought were going to work great. Look at where that steering column box is. This is the only manifold that can fit this car. So thank goodness for JF being a hoarder, saving parts. That's one of the parts I want to clean up with Teresa today and install. Let's get after it. Let's make some progress. Stick around because you're going to want to find out whether we're going under with this budget or whether we still have a shot at it. So we're going to put Teresa on installing the exhaust manifolds because that's pretty straightforward. She needs to find bolts, gaskets, and at the same time, I'm going to take care of one of our splurges. Put a brand new fuel pump in the car. Now, I think we could have got away without a brand new fuel pump, but here's why it's getting a brand new one. Because I don't want to be stuck on the side of the road with a fuel pump issue. Because I recycled a fuel pump. I think it's money well spent. Get a little gasket here. Fuel pump block off. Okay, let's work on you first.
Okay.
Bolts, so you find the right bolts. You need 12 of them.
Well, these ones will fit based on what I just did, but doesn't look like I've got 12 of them.
Oh, but maybe you do, because JF's been
Hoarding?
not hoarding. I don't call it hoarding, I call it collecting special pieces. Laugh it up. Look at how many bolts you got. How many are you missing?
1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
And this one's very special. Teresa doesn't know that yet, but hey, small block Chevy people, we're going to need that to mount an alternator. So we're keeping that one around. You got 12?
Not yet. I'm not sure if that one's... No.
Yep, close enough. Good to go.
Okay, I think we're good.
Now you're going to go and find enough lock washers to do all of them.
If not, I know where there's lots of washers.
Okay, so go find them and then we'll install that thing.
Okay. Don't you want me to clean these up?
The thing with cleaning those up is if you clean them up, they get so hot,
Yeah,
they get dirty almost instantly.
really?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going through here on the gasket kit, because we did get a gasket kit that we found in our old stuff. And typically we have a lot of these left over because those are exhaust manifold gaskets. And we'll normally use headers. But for this application, I'm very happy to have a nice, quiet, non-leaking, exhaust leaking engine. We're going to have enough wind whistles to make up for that when we're traveling down the road. Here we go. Here we go. Now this is something that gets talked quite a bit, or I've seen actually a few times on YouTube. So I'm going to show you guys my little trick for it. Sealant on. Maybe on the gasket instead. This is not a high leaking area, I don't think. But we like to seal it up anyways. So we'll just center that there. Get a bunch of goo on my fingers.
Oops. I don't know what that was. But
Important part that gets talked about a little bit on YouTube is this. This is the shaft that actually runs the fuel pump. Now, I didn't lube it too much, and I'm going to put just a little bit on. Sorry, bear with me here. This is not a YouTube short. This is an actual real-time. I'm trying to make it work. So we cleaned up the shaft. You can see we sanded it there. I'm just going to put a little oil on it. You know what I decided to do instead of oil? Decided to put a little grease on it. So I'm going to put a little grease on it. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm hoping it gets hung up in the hole for a split second. So a little bit of grease there. Shove it in the hole. And it wants to creep down as soon as you put it in. We got a rag somewhere.
Yeah, there's right on the counter there. Looking at these gaskets, none of them.
I've already found them. Put them by the car for you.
Okay.
Just wait. Okay, so the plate goes here for the fuel pump. And where this engine is different than most, because it's an early one, is there's no hole here to put a bolt in and hold the fuel pump push rod in place right here. So in a lot of later engines, you'll see that there's a hole here, and that allows you to put a bolt in. So I'm just going to get the right length bolt. You can see the push rod in there is already fallen. So here's my trick of the day for you guys. This is not something I was taught. It's just something, and Teresa's going to have to get up here and have a look. It's just something I learned myself. I don't know if we have enough lighting to see it. You see the push rod, or not the push rod, but the actual arm on the fuel pump? Well, what I want to do, and sweetheart, if you could just come up here, you might see in there. No, we can't. We need some lighting.
Here, let me grab you a light before you do any more.
Okay. So there, you can see the push rod in there, right?
Yep.
And people hold it up with their finger, put the bolt in the front. Here's what I've always done, and I was never taught to do this. I'm going to take the leading edge of the swivel here, and I'm literally going to press down on it, right? And I'm going to push that push rod up for a split second. See how it fell in that easy? I'm going to push. Oh yeah, we're good. And that allows me to put this in place. It looks like the engine's in a bad spot for it though, because it's trying to push. Yeah, trying to push some fuel right now. So I'm going to rotate the engine just a bit and get it off that lobe. So on the camshaft, there is an actual lobe there that presses down on the fuel pump. And I love this because it is just mechanical simplicity. Still think I want to go just a bit further. So I'm just moving the motor over right now to get that lobe away, because of course it goes in and out and in and out, causes the fuel pump to work, You don't have to wonder if the wires are good. You don't have to worry about the ground. It is just going to pump fuel. If I can get it in place here. Yeah, it's got a lot of resistance, which is great. Now that socket that Teresa's got would be wicked on a 3/8 ratchet. And then I'm going to put it into place, screw that in, and that'll be fuel pump installed.
That's just too easy.
The simplicity of it all. Now, everybody wants highfalutin stuff, and they want it to be super cool and have more power and this and that. It's tough to beat the just simple small block Chevy and all the things that come with it. So, there. Cheap fuel pump too, probably the cheapest one you can buy. I want to say it was in the $35 to $40 range.
I can tell you exactly how much it is because it was on my sheet.
But you can't.
No?
What can you right now?
It's on my phone right now.
Anyways, I think $35 to $40 was close enough for
Okay.
our purposes.
Yeah. Turn the light on.
Nice and tight. Nice and tight. That settles that. Fuel pump installed. I'm going to start working. Oh, no, it isn't. Silly me. Anybody guess what mistake I made there? And well done on you guys that actually caught us for not putting a throw-up bearing in the transmission. The explanation for that was I'm still hoping to put a 4-speed in, so we're going to have to revisit the transmission. But I don't know how many of you guys caught my mistake here, but I didn't put a gasket in there. That would have caused an oil leak. So, let's have a little look here, put a gasket in.
It's funny, I thought there was a gasket because I saw that blue.
The other one, I know, I did the same mistake. Doo-doo-doo-doo. All right. Round 2. All right, we're gonna do the same thing. Push up, push down, and up. Yep, I got it. Good and tight.
I think that's a German guy's name, Gudendijk.
That's when you're working on BMWs or Porsches.
Mr. Gudendijk.
Good and tight. Okay. Teresa's turn.
Okay.
Put some exhaust manifolds on with gaskets. We're about to teach Teresa some stuff. Maybe you'll learn something too. Who knows? Okay. These gaskets are very specific and they're meant to help you. See how they don't have a hole here? They just have a slot. The reason for that goes like this. Where's your bolts?
Right here.
Put this in place. Put a couple bolts in to hold it. I probably should have wire wheeled those faces on them. Is it threading? Mm-hmm. Oh, good. They are ugly, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Well, the whole thing's ugly.
Probably going to be the ugliest part of the whole car, but like I said, even if we make them nice in the first couple thousand miles, they'd be rusty again. So we're happy with that. Okay, start all 6 of them. And now the cool thing about these gaskets, here's some stuff my son likes to learn. He does. He says he likes this stuff.
Okay.
So, watch this. Right? Go get the camera.
That's brilliant.
Ah.
You can slide them in.
You're getting the wrong angle there. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
I wonder who thought of that.
I don't know, but it makes sense. And what happens is in most cars, you're leaning over the fenders.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have access like this, so it's really a godsend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tighten a few of them up slowly on the trigger at first, and then hard on the trigger once they're all in place.
That angle. That one I'm going to have to do by hand because I can't get the...
That's why I brought you a ratchet. Sometimes a big extension will get around that. There you go. Don't strip it.
Nope. Definitely can't get that one. Or that one.
And just like you guys at home, if you've only got a few hours at night to work on your car or just a Saturday, it's nice to get a bunch of parts ready, install them, and then move on to the next parts that you're going to need. So just like I installed the fuel pump there, now I'm going to need fittings to run the fuel pump lines up to the carburetor. So that's going to be on my list for tomorrow or the next day's project. I was going to mount the carburetor the other day, and I didn't have this gasket. Look at that, fairly used but not totally wrecked gasket. We're going to use that. And we'll have the carburetor mounted. Our magic, unknown to us carburetor. I should probably go
Didn't you
find
find
some
that
bolts.
in the sea can? In the shipping container?
Can't remember where we found this one.
I'm sure. do I have to take these off and put that goo
Nope.
on these?
Nope.
Okay.
The goo would melt those.
Okay, good to know. Okay, other side.
Here's hoping. What are the chances? Oh, yeah. These are the right length. That's awesome.
Where's my other exhaust?
How about that one right there?
Okay.
Oh, it's missing some parts. We got some work to do there. Nope, can't install it. It's got no studs on the bottom, so we're gonna have to steal some studs off those other manifolds we got. Okay, we got some work to do. We'll show you guys here what I'm trying to explain to Teresa. There's no studs sticking out of here, so rather than have to do them underneath the car, we're gonna try to do them now. We'll go get that $5 swap meet exhaust manifold and steal the studs off it.
Okay.
Oh, you got to go to the C-can to do that. So you see how the studs are sticking out here, love? So go find a manifold in the C-can, the side door,
Okay.
by the trailer.
You know what I was thinking?
What were you thinking?
How sad I'm gonna be when we have to give this car away to somebody after all the work that we've put into it.
You know what I've been thinking? Sure hope the person appreciates it that gets it.
That's, yeah, I am. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just emotional today. I'm just like, it's like, oh man, all this work.
So, speaking of that, why don't you guys tell us what you're going to do with this car if you win it?
Well, there's been a few people that have been telling us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. They're already making spaces in their garages.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so same thing here. I'm just trying to put the carburetor down. If I can get the carburetor in place today, then I know what parts I need to follow up. So it seems like a simple little job. Find 4 of the right size screws. Get the thing down. Got a big vacuum port here that I want to deal with today. But in the meantime, I think Teresa found us the parts we need. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our $5 ram horn swap meet find.
So, I know this impressed Teresa. I'm sure you guys have all done it before, but here's a quick little lesson coming up. If I could find it. There, 1/16. Where's your impact, love?
Other side of the tire. I'll grab it.
Go grab it. So 1 bolt in place. Where is she? So what I'm doing is putting 2 bolts here, locking them together. Oh, it's a 5/16. It's a 5/16. 5/8, sorry. Oh man, what size is that? Oh, 9/16 that I need. There we go. So you lock 2 together, and then you use the bottom one to unwind it here. And I'm kind of going to leave it the same for the reinstall. It's going to make that a lot easier. Just going to bring this over. to this with it. Oh yeah, that one didn't need much.
Brilliant.
A little loose
Genius.
though, a little loose.
It is loose.
Let's see what that looks like later. Okay, got a second one on. We'll run that in. And you'll see, problem with this, is that nut's still stuck on.
And that's loose.
Okay, we'll do the same thing here. We'll lock these two into place. And then simply take this off. Oh, you little fucker. It's stuck on there good.
Ouch. Ouch.
No. You got a fighter. There we go. Didn't fight for too long.
And I honestly don't know how you do that on your knees like that.
That's why they're wrecked.
Well, I get,
Body shop knees.
like when I'm bent over like that, I get no blood flow to my knees. And then I get up and I'm dizzy as ever.
Okay, the other thing we're going to do is have a little look at the exhaust pieces we already have in place. Because we might be winning all over the place. Maybe. Ooh. That one's tight. You can see that stud really twisting. Now you can see why I wanted to do this job on the floor rather than upside down in the car.
I don't even know how you would have done it in the car.
No, I just do it. Now, if you go to the back of the car, you're going to find two pieces of pipe.
Two pieces of pipe. Like these long pieces of pipe?
Exhaust pipe, yep.
This ugly one?
Yeah,
This?
ugly's good.
This?
Yeah, let's have a look. So one of these has a 45 on it. One of them goes straight down, which I think will work for the driver's side. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, this guy's crazy, but this actually gives us the start to exhaust system. Yes. This one comes in at a 45. Yeah, I think we've got two pieces of pipe that are going to help us start the exhaust system. Apart from this ugliness here, we don't need that. We probably don't need any of this. I'm likely just going to cut this off here, but at least we'll have something to start the exhaust system. Okay, you're ready to install that other one, love.
Okay. On it. I think I need you to hold it so I can put the bolts in.
Yep, I could do that. You got your bolts?
No, over here.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna grind off this heat riser.
Okay.
So I don't want it making noise.
There was another steering column in that back shipping container. What was that for? Just my squirrel brain.
Oh man, that reveals a problem. All right. What's the problem, you might ask? Here's the problem.
It's cracked.
It's cracked and going to be no good. So,
Son of a bitch.
yep.
Well, you know what?
Keep shopping.
I guess that was a godsend in a way. Because I would have put it in, and then we would have had that around it. And
Yeah. So, let's move on to some other stuff then. How about that? That's the thing about trying to make some progress in a day.
I think this video should be called a half-assed job. Because we only got half of it done.
I'm going to bolt the carburetor down. Because that's going to make me feel good.
Okay.
Or not. Nope. Maybe not.
What I want to know is this part boring for our viewers?
I don't know.
Because it's the tedious stuff, right?
It's the tedious stuff, and you got to get through it.
Like,
so no different than if you actually decided to come on this journey with us and start building your own car. Oops. And you understand that if you work on it one day a week, you're going to get somewhere. Well, not all those days are spectacular. Sometimes you just take a couple steps forward and then a couple steps back. So, okay. That's that. I've got a couple water outlets here that I can install. Pipe thread water gasket, so that'll work with our heater system. Again, small block Chevys, super simple. I would say maybe all early cars, pretty simple in this way. You want to see how simple old cars are, love?
mm-hmm.
This hose will go to one of those, and it moves hot water from here to there, and that's how your heating system works. Doesn't get any simpler than that.
And what's that one?
So this one will go to that hose.
Huh.
Comes right out of the water pump here.
How do you know which hose goes to where?
I don't think it much matters. As long as it circulates in there, it'll get that warm, and that's your job.
Interesting. Brilliant. Who actually created the engine?
Oh gosh, that's on you. You could be the nerd to figure that out.
I am going to be the nerd to figure that out. I want to know who created the engine.
Internal combustion engine?
Yeah.
I want to say that it started out with steam power.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's definitely during the Industrial Revolution. Or the beginning of the Industrial Revolution.
These pipe thread things, it's nice to make them super tight.
Back to that German guy again.
Yep. This one's not as nice to work with, though. I don't think I'm going to get a lot of grip on this one. Not a lot of room for the wrench. Very interesting. At least it's getting tight at the same time, but I'm running out of space to catch it there. Well, I think we're done. Okay. Call that good. Oh, what else can we do here? Let's have a look. We got this strange little, super cool also pipe thread union here that I think I can put at the back of the manifold. That'll give us great vacuum for the vacuum brake canister we're putting in. So now we're on a hunt for an exhaust manifold.
Are we going to find one of those?
Don't know.
Oh, man. Where did the other one come from? Was that from that guy? No?
Nope. That all came out of my stock
That was
here.
out of the
All my hoarding stock.
stuff.
Yeah, you're not supposed to keep all that stuff. What are you going to do with it?
I never said that.
I will say this, Teresa and I have been a little bit burnt out because we're so busy doing stuff, and this poor car has taken a bit of a back seat.
Yeah, we're sorry, guys. We've been trying to get videos out. It's just...
It's that time of year. The shop is absolutely full of clients' cars that are ready to hit the road for spring, and we kind of forget about ourselves.
Yeah. YouTube's not our full-time gig. Like some people's channels, that's their full-time gig. Or they just have a job or a business and that they have enough staff.
But we do appreciate all you guys for watching and keeping us inspired. We're like, gotta get back on that car, otherwise we won't be able to drive it this summer, which is a very, very common problem for all hot rodders.
Yeah.
You get going and you run out of poop once in a while. So we just gotta go to the shop, find one little project, get some endorphins going, make yourself happy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one last project here just to prepare for some more parts.
Is there a
project install.
Sorry, can I interrupt? Is there a reason why the spark plugs are not in on this side, but they are on that
Because I
side?
didn't want to knock them out here when we were putting the manifold in place.
Okay, so can I put them in?
Yep.
Okay.
But where's my pedal assembly? Oh, right here. So this is my project that I want to get kind of sorted today. Got a brake booster. Got some pedals. I'm gonna try to figure out if I can put all of this together. Is the pivot point the same? Will it work? Here's how that goes. No. I just keep losing.
Oh, that's the title.
Yeah. Okay, so I've been saving this booster for this project. I'm betting you $100. It's for the wrong year Camaro. And these two are going to match up 100%. And answer to that is no. Actually, that was a lie. That doesn't line up either. Well, what the heck? Okay, pull that out. Send this on its way. Put this in place. And that's why I do that at the end of the day. I always have a good look at the parts that we do have. See if they're going to work. To figure out what comes next. So that's working really great.
Let me come on to the other side.
So pedal assembly looks like it's going to work out great. Now that I know that, we're going to pull it back out. Teresa's going to clean it up, hit it with the quick little spray can. I believe that this gas pedal is going to work out also. So next episode, hopefully we'll have enough parts and we will do pedal install and figure out what we need for a master cylinder. Yeah.
Cool.
That brings us to a wrap, I think, for the day.
No, we're not wrapping up yet.
No, you're putting spark plugs in?
I'm putting spark plugs in, and we have to do how much we've spent so far.
Okay, let's do that. Spark plugs. I'm going to do a bit of an engine dress up here. No, I'm not.
Mr. Dress Up?
Nope.
Do you remember Mr. Dress Up?
I do remember Mr. Dress Up.
What is this? What is this?
That goes on top of an air cleaner to hold it down. I was going to put that together today, but I don't have an air cleaner element, so it would have looked goofy. Now we're down to spark plug wires, a starter, a little bit of fuel, a little bit of power. Maybe we could make this thing run. Okay, Teresa, tell us how much money we've spent.
Okay, so far we have spent a few minutes just tallying up. We have the car at $50. Okay, quarter panel at $100. The inner fenders at $600. The fenders that we got from Blair for $200. The black paint that we've used on the car so far cost us $75. We sandblasted the frame, that was $300.
And the bottom of the car,
and
yeah.
the bottom of the car. And then the floor pans that we got were
Added up to
$440. Then more black paint was $15. Miscellaneous screws, $10. The floors, paint again, $30, $112. The water pump, $52. Fuel pump, $40. The swap meet manifolds for $5. Front suspension, $60. Steering column, $60. Subframe mount kit was $140, and the engine $5. Are we missing anything?
So far, so good. Hopefully we're missing some stuff because I think I'm running out of money. What's the total?
$2,837.
$2,837.
Give or take. I probably maybe.
Leaving us $2,163. $2,163. Now, are we past the halfway point in the build of the car? I'm not sure. Are we past the halfway point in spending? Now you guys can see why I'm getting cheap on a lot of stuff. We've had some great friends. Chip Foose has given us some stuff.
Seats.
That one gentleman gave us some suspension in trade for a hoodie. We've got a steering column coming in trade for a hoodie.
All the free parts that we got from Ottawaholic.
Yeah. Canadian Classics.
Canadian Classics.
Yes. Thank you, Lewis Thaw. We will talk about that on a future episode when we're using the parts, which was super cool. We are actually using leftover parts that wouldn't otherwise have been used in any other build, so we don't feel bad about that. They are, it's the whole,
It's upcycling.
it's recycling. It's reusing, whatever. But it's good. We're the most environmentally friendly car build so far. So we are having fun with it. We got a $50 Nova in there somewhere that I think I'm going to use a few parts out of. That should be good too.
Okay.
There it is.
Not bad. Like, we're halfway.
And we spent more than half the money. But what have we got left? We got exhaust to build. Hopefully we can use some used mufflers there. We do have to put some reasonable tires on it, so I don't know whether we'll end up finding free used tires that are usable.
Oh,
I'm definitely, we can't afford new tires at this point. You can see that.
I'm sure with all of the vehicles that are at the shop, there is got to be some free tires at the shop.
You're funny. You don't even know the size.
There,
Nobody runs 14-inch tires anymore, so they're going to be impossible to find. So we might have to even change out wheels just to get cheap tires. No.
Celica's?
No. We do have a lot of work ahead of us, though. We still don't have brake master cylinder, brake lines, fuel lines, exhaust, tires, headlights, headlight wiring, taillight bulbs, windows. Okay.
Windshield.
Okay, I just got myself depressed again.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of stuff to do. We got to keep picking away at it, though, and just like us, this is what you're going to go through when you're building a car. It's not always easy, and it's not always glamorous, and especially when you're trying to save some money, sometimes you have to do a little extra work.
But we're going to keep going.
Let us know if you think it's even possible for $2,100 at this point. I got my doubts. We still got to buy a brand new battery at some point. Or put a used one in.
Yeah.
Okay, we got lots to do.
Thanks for watching, you guys.
Yeah,
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And tell all of your friends. Don't forget to enter the contest, too.
Oh, yeah, look
you
at
gotta
wait a
win.
sec.
You got to win it.
What about this awesome t-shirt I'm wearing today?
Oh, yeah.
Finally got my 50/50 t-shirt. It's awesome.
We've got these shirts on our channel, and actually they're pretty inexpensive. And
They fit nice, too.
Yeah, they're super
I'm really
soft.
happy with that t-shirt. So, there you go. Thanks for playing with us. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're excited about maybe winning this car, because somebody's going to win it. And you're going to get a lot of our blood, sweat, and tears and some used parts all glued together in one little super fun project.
Yeah. Okay. We'll
See you in the next couple days. Bye-bye.
Bye.